The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Time, all the time, everybody feeling fine. Fun time, good time, my time, your time, our time, sing time. Everybody get in line, everybody jumping up and singing the place. We come to guy on back to sing in the place. It's time to dance and shake and sing in the place. So jump around, celebrate, cause sing in the place. We here to celebrate, we come to jam. Sting in the morning, we're slowing down. When the Sting your party, the crowd asks for more. Sting bring it real, Sting bring it raw. Everybody jumping up and sing in the place. We come to carry on back to sting in the place. It's size and shake when sting in the place. So jump around, celebrate, cause sting in the place. It's all about culture, it's all about fun. Yeah, we love you all, each and every one. So meet us.
Good morning this morning and welcome to 96.9 FM, your station for smart news, fresh talk all day. Oh, it's fresh news and smart talk. Listen, forgive me. It's an exciting Monday morning. There's everything in the world to talk about this morning. The numbers to call, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, 242-300-5720. Please tell me you already have your Nassau Guardian in your hand so you could read along. Today's paper is a must-see. Let's get the show started. Guardian Radio and the Guardian Media Group want to send you away for the summer with the Great Summer Escape giveaway. You could win a trip for two, including hotel, car, luggage, and $1,000 cash. All you need is your passport. Just get a Nassau Guardian newspaper, fill out the entry form, drop it in the entry box at the Nassau Guardian in Oaksfield. And then tune into Guardian Radio and follow the Nassau Guardian on all social media platforms for your chances to win. The Guardian Media Group Great Summer Escape giveaway, deadline to enter August 12th, drawing August 14th. Oh boy, we've got lots to talk about this morning. Today's Guardian, new cancer cases to nearly double by 2050. AG says witnesses can request protection. FNM delays conclave. And to the Tribune headlines, families have to wait 6 to 8 weeks for DNA results. 5 dogs attack elderly man. AG defends witness protection program. Disabled dialysis patient accuses PMH of victimizing him. And then we have a follow-up on Friday's excitement on the bridge, the Sidney Poitier Bridge, where a large truck lost control of its system and could not brake in time. What a story. Lots to talk about. Look at this headline. Water and Sewerage Corporation recognizes pioneers. This is wonderful. I wonder, is the Adrian Gibson case finished, though? Should we have waited? Should we have waited for the Adrian Gibson case to be finished before we recognize people at Government House? I would have waited. And I think everybody would have been cool with waiting so as to ensure we protect the integrity of the institution. By leaving no questions on the table. That's how you do it, by leaving no questions on the table. So let's get the show started again. The numbers to call, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, 242-300-5720. There's lots to talk about this morning. There is this story left over from last week. Government working to recruit more teachers, more Bahamian teachers, DPM says, and government seeks 100 Bahamians to plug teacher shortage. In the first article, government working to recruit more Bahamian teachers, DPM says, BUT President Belinda Wilson has said that the move was, quote, offensive and egregious, close quotes. Wilson called the recruitment disrespectful as the union has yet to conclude negotiations over a new industrial agreement with the government. Further on in the article, Cooper, that's Chester Cooper, minister responsible for education, science, and technology, said the Ministry of Education is close to finalizing its industrial agreement with the Bahamas Union of Teachers, the BUT. I got word that they expect to meet with the government this week, in fact, to continue this process of finalizing the industrial agreement. This is very good. This is very good because we only have 11 days left in. Yeah? And so it's hopeful that the negotiations are successful. The teachers are satisfied with the negotiations, and we could continue this conversation. It's become a fascinating conversation. Over the weekend, there's lots of people talking about it, but I think we're still missing sort of the essential issues. When Belinda Wilson said that the move was, quote, offensive and egregious, because the union has yet to conclude negotiations over a new industrial agreement with the government. She says, quote, you can negotiate in minutes to have 300 teachers from Ghana come to the Bahamas, but the Bahamas Union of Teachers was at the negotiation table since October 2025. Right? Now, we can give the government just a little grace on this one. I suspect that the government intended to make its intention clear to the union, the intention to recruit teachers from Ghana and the specific number of teachers. But if you'll remember, every story we've seen about it states that the Ghanaian Minister of Foreign Affairs made the announcement on a Facebook page. Maybe he jumped the gun a little bit and put the government in a difficult position. Maybe they were hoping to speak to the union before they made the announcement, but the Ghanaian minister made the announcement first. Now, there's lots of people talking, and there's lots of xenophobia going around. Oh, these Ghanaian teachers are not a good fit. They're culturally not a good fit. We could cut that one right off the table. Let me tell you how I know. When as a Ghanaian guardians, when I was in boarding school, and my Ghanaian guardians knew that they were taking in a Bahamian student, the first meal they prepared for me was steamed grouper and white rice. Yeah, steamed grouper and white rice, right? So I think they get a sense of who we are and how we are related to each other. But there was xenophobia floating around, but let me just say this. Those voices are a concerted political effort to persuade people. You see that word political? A political effort to persuade people in a specific direction. I think if we are having a serious conversation about it, the issues are on the table are just what the union says that they are. Right? Which is, how could you complete a negotiation of this nature that will inherently impact the negotiations that are taking place with the union, with the BUT and the government? How could you sort of complete this process, even initiate the process without letting the union know. And then the way that the decision was publicized was also disrespectful. It may not be the fault of the government per se. I mean, I would have been the one in the room saying, phones off. Remember, don't make an announcement until the home country makes an announcement, right? Like, it would have been me. I would have been the person doing that. But this is a hit that the government just is going to have to take, right? And I think those grounds that the BUT put on the table are clear, transparent, and fair, right? It's not a matter of not wanting foreign teachers in the country. It's not a matter of not caring about Bahamian students. It's about an administrative issue and how the information was revealed to all stakeholders. Simple, right? I hope that the continued negotiations with the government are successful, but I think we allowed this xenophobe to cloud what are the more substantive issues, right? Which is, how are we 300 teachers short? How do we arrive at the place where we are 300 teachers short, right? First of all, how you get there? And how are we, and can you tell us how we're going to get out of it? Now, what we learned in reading the articles, the about 5 or 6 at least, that have been published so far about it, is that there is a task force, right? There is a recruitment task force that has been implemented to accelerate the hiring process of both Bahamian and international educators amid a national teacher shortage. Minister said that they have identified up to 100 Bahamian teachers and they are in talks with Ghana, Kenya, and other countries to recruit more. Cooper said that Bahamians will have top priority. Quote, this initiative is part of a much broader national strategy to strengthen education, close quotes, he said during a press conference at Mabel Walker Primary School. Quote, we anticipate rolling out our revised strategic plan in due course, which will expand on the medium and long-term initiatives to strengthen and improve recruitment and retention. There is no single solution. I tell you what, though, this word due course, what's the timeline on that? What do you mean in due course? Have the unions seen it yet? Have the unions been given sufficient time to assess your revised strategic plan so as to substantively engage it in the negotiations? And forget the union, forget them, they're just teachers. What about the citizens who ultimately will pay for whatever it is that you're doing? What about the citizens who birth the children who go into these schools? Will we get to know? Will we get to know? And what does due course mean? We have to wait another 5 years for nothing? Let's go to the phone line. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Mrs. Greene.
Good morning. How are you?
I appreciate that you get that due course.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because they're the things that the language they use, and you got to figure out what that means. Because in business, we all know that if you engage in a contract, you have timelines, regardless if you may finish sooner or have to go over. But to speak and communicate to a nation and never a timeline on nothing they do, and then when they make decisions, it is so short notice that you can't even react. Can't even respond.
That's it. That's it right there. You the nail on the head. In due course, will the relevant stakeholders have sufficient time to assess and respond, if necessary, to your revised strategy? Before somebody say, well, man, the teachers is only a week, the plane tickets already booked, what we could do.
You know what I mean? You ain't giving me no time to really think about it and then even say something,
Yeah.
you know? And this is what I thought about again with this.
Yes, sir.
Just to kind of throw this in your brain. I was a business owner, so you know I was an advocate for robots.
Mm-hmm.
Because I go through the struggle with human error. We're dealing with more and more unproductive challenges created on the jobs. And so I say to the country that we know that there are business owners that on a whim, once that we see that right robot get made and they could wake in the field, a guy do fencing, and they could lay a post, I ain't gonna buy that. And so what if more businesses start to adopt these practices because they realize that it can cost them, they can be more efficient, and their productivity can go up, which can increase their income and their money to their business. So what the government could do in terms of transitioning people who now in careers and jobs that can be replaced by robots.
And listen, as a consumer, right? As a consumer, if you, the service provider, are showing option, right, that will significantly reduce the cost to me for home maintenance, home building, home construction, home repair, I have to take that option.
Okay, and then you're no human because it's legal labor and cheap labor with humans, but a robot is fair game.
Yeah, don't let the robot say you say that. But I agree. I agree, right? Like there has to be a give. Now, before we move on, I want to say this though, right? We have identified that we do have a productivity issue in the country. Yeah. We are producing well below our weight.
Yes. That's why we have to borrow.
As a whole nation, as individual units, we are not producing at sort of a maximum pace, right?
Oh.
That's a given. Yeah. However, now let's ask the question why, right? And I'm not saying that we have to answer that question now.
Let's just say predominantly who? Because the private sector. If you check this, if we get the data, we start to compare public service productivity versus private sector service in the same field. So you get administration, public, private. You get certain areas that you could correlate. Make sure we see where the problem really is, and then when you go dig deep in terms of the education, because most of this employment over the last 10 to 15 years, we can agree that most of them came through political influence. That's my candidate, that's my MP, that's my constituent. I'm going to give him that job in this top position, knowing or unknowingly if he or she is qualified even to that position. Because if we evaluate them on their productivity as a nation in terms of what we expect as an output from our workers, they're not producing nothing based on what they're spending, because that's why they're borrowing so much, because they're underperforming.
Yeah. Man, that's what it looks like. Listen, and we could see it in enforcement, with enforcement of laws, regulations, and policies, provisions in the country. Right? There's an absolute breakdown, a complete and utter breakdown, to the point where you can enter a government entity, right? And you begin to ask questions because you need to familiarize yourself with the protocols, the way things work, the procedure for me to receive a service. And when you enter an institution and you begin actions, you get this sort of negative feedback from a lot of staff, right? Because either because
they get defensive, because as an uneducated person in a conversation where they start to see themselves feel as if they don't know, they get defensive.
Yeah.
And that's where we are. Versus humble themselves and say, you know what, I don't know, let me ask questions, is always that they would try to pretend as if they know, and then you know who knows. And that's what we're having right now with the energy crisis. But I can end with this, Ms. Greene.
Yes, sir.
My message to the youth, 18 to 20, that's why I say to young people, it's inevitable. Next 20 years, let's say we get 20 years before the whole world starts to see this emergence of robots and replacement of humans and all these different things, right? What I say to them is, get your business, in your business model, prepare to integrate a robot so you can survive in the future. Because those who are looking for jobs but don't own the business to produce or provide the service with the robot, you lose.
I got you. For me, what I can tell young people 18 to 20 is look at where there are gaps, right? Like you see the government has a solarization program, right? And you see the increase in electric vehicles on the road.
Yep.
Focus on automotive repair.
Yep.
Like you may not be the person making the solar panels or making the cars, but
Yep.
across the U.S. right now, they have an automotive crisis. You know why? The mechanics are disappearing. And in this country, where we have a government that is addicted to to what they call it, carbon. It's an automotive tax, right? So the tax on the gas needed to run the motors, whether it's an airplane, a boat, or a car. All of those, our government is addicted to that tax to the point where they can't figure out that there are just some people who should never own or drive a car. Right?
So that's what I'm saying. They fall down on like you said, enforcement of laws and them going from right and wrong. See, they don't govern no more on a success of a nation. They become influential with their friends, their family. So personal feelings and emotions start to creep into their decisions, and so now it starts to show.
Yeah.
And we talking about years of compounding, you see.
Absolutely. But listen, let me get this text line. Thank you so much. No, man, absolutely. I absolutely appreciate what you're saying. Like we have to delve beneath the layers and keep going until we could get a sense of what the problem is. Here's a couple of texts. Said, I don't believe a single word about this recruitment task force. Why? Because nothing was mentioned about it until Belinda Wilson appeared on a talk show and Bahamian teachers started contacting her about their efforts to enter the system. She asked all to send her their qualifications and contact info. Then amazingly, after snarkily announcing that 300 Ghanaians were being hired to fill shortages, the ministry announces they're trying to recruit Bahamians. I feel you. That because that's how it has happened. You know, it's sort of par for the course. Pun intended. Good morning, caller. Good morning, caller. Are you there? Sorry, I missed you, caller. The numbers to call, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, 242-300-5720. Here we go. So, from the weekends, from the headlines, the quote, "One Life Too Many," close quotes, road safety campaign launch. This article was released on the 8th of July, 26. That's 2 days before independence. The Ministry of Transport, Road Traffic Department, and the Royal Bahamas Police Force have joined forces to promote safer roads through the launch of the, quote, "One Life Too Many," close quotes, road safety campaign. The initiative aims to encourage responsible driving, greater awareness, and compliance with the rules of the road in an effort to help reduce traffic-related deaths across the country. So far, I've seen it's not a music video, it's a PSA with some of the country's leading entertainers and musicians, right? It's a very well-composed PSA. But what will it do? I also saw the article where Rick Fox, and saw the little video where Rick Fox and Mario Boleg, they join hands across the political divide to promote safer roads. You know what may possibly work? A campaign to create safer roads versus a campaign to promote safer words. You're going to do exactly what you said, which is just promote it, but you're not actually going to create it. And I suspect that y'all just don't know how to shift the road culture. You don't know how to do it. And I could understand that because a large portion of your own police officers either do not know what the traffic controls are or do not care what the traffic controls are. I trying to figure out how could celebrities, political celebrities, because that's all they are, political celebrities, right? Political celebrities and actual celebrities, how can they promote safer roads if you can't get the police to enforce the controls? Every day, police are not just ignoring blatant infractions, like people running red lights and turning left on red in front of the police. They're committing them themselves. Like, okay, and I thought that maybe Friday's incident, Mack truck with failed brakes plows through traffic on Sidney Poitier Bridge, maybe that would be the impetus. Maybe that would be the thing that would spark common sense. Right? Y'all be just going to continue to tell the people, don't speed, drive to arrive alive, think about the children. In fact, this morning, on my way to work, I was behind a car that was, when I say going slow, I mean tootling, right? And it's 2 lanes on the road, so that would be fine if they weren't going at the same speed as the car next to them. That they were trying to be safe drivers driving at that speed. You know why? Because they had a child in the car that was not properly seat belted. They weren't in a car seat as required by law. Right? The police watching this happen all the time. In fact, you're going to risk being attacked by somebody who you attempt to tell them what the law is or what the right thing to do is. They attack you and they do stupid stuff. Like they brake check you despite the fact that they already obstructing traffic while they're on their cell phone, which is also against the law. But ain't not one Bahamian, including the fancy politicians, the people in the judges' cars. I seen that. Last week, y'all was all over the place, not using your turn signal, not coming to a complete stop at the stop sign. I just thinking, are y'all paying somebody to advise y'all on this? Are you really paying somebody to advise y'all on this? I do it for free. Every day on the radio, I do it for free. And y'all paying somebody, and all y'all could come up with is a PSA, billboards that actually create a greater traffic hazard, and jingles. You get the little children to make up commercials, jingles, to sing to their parents, who obviously don't have any sense because they're running red lights with them same children in the car with them. I suspect that y'all don't care, and you don't intend on creating safer roads because you don't care. It couldn't be that nobody within Ministry of Transport, nobody within the Royal Bahamas Police Force, nobody in the whole of the judiciary, nobody understands that you need a visible campaign where people can actually see other people and themselves being stopped and eventually ticketed for this behavior by those responsible. So the 5 children who died on Shirley Street was insufficient. The young lady that died in Grand Bahama the same night. The multiple horrible accidents since, including, coming right now, caller, including that green long Jeep that tried to pick up the pole and take it home, like that song, say, pick up somebody. Yeah, I saw that one too. Good morning, caller.
Miss Greene, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How you do?
Good. I trust and hope that you had a beautiful weekend.
I did. Look here, we talking about Pia Glover Road today?
Huh?
We talking about Pia Glover Road today?
Man, I finished with that and then finish. I talking about the Fox Hill Festival.
When is it going to take place?
Up in your area.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's invite some of the Junkanoo groups back out up in Fox Hill Emancipation Day.
Without a doubt.
Let's have a good rush out.
Absolutely. And hey, look here, but let's do a thing. Since you call, and I know when you call, you always trying to inject positivity into the conversation, right?
I try.
I know that. I know that. We could use the Fox Hill Fest as an opportunity to test the vibe, right? The young people them had a party over on the 11th at Smuggler's Square called H2O, and on their flyer, they let people know we gonna have a designated driver service available for people. Call in ahead, and make sure you have a safe ride at home, right?
You need to try that with Fox Hill Day.
That's what I saying.
Well, I put you responsible.
No man, you win. You got a closer. You
deal with that one. But yeah, I want to congratulate the chairman, Mr. Warren Davis, and his team.
Okay.
I had reasons to sit into one of their meetings, and they're doing excellent work. I think this is going to be one of the best in a long, long time.
And so
I just want to try and get out all those jungle groups to come back out and, and including Fox Hill Congos. I hear you used to be a part of Fox Hill Congos.
Always the spirit, the greatest scrap group in the history of jungle white people whole world. Because I don't know where the white people are.
To the Fox Hill Parade.
I gotta find my white people so we can come back out.
Man, you can find them, man. But Miss Greene, also that gentleman that called earlier talking about these robot things.
The robots, yeah.
Is that the gentleman from Garden Hill?
I believe so.
If that is him, I know he's still listening. I lose all respect for him.
Why?
I had a lot of respect for him.
Why?
I was pushing some people in Garden Hills to support him.
As an independent?
Yes. But then I see he go and hook up with Rick Fox. I lose all the respect for him.
No, man.
He got borrowed for a little price.
No, man, don't say that. I can't let you say that.
But he hooked up with little Rick Fox all the while he was on his own.
Now listen.
Gathering people was deciding to go with him.
I could be honest with you, right? Yeah. I too question why he made the switch, but I ain't asking about it on the air yet.
But that was bad on his behalf. And then he talking with the young people. The young people should not be like him.
No, don't say that. No, man, Julian, don't say that.
I have to do it, Miss Greene.
No, man.
He almost had me. I had some cousins in Garden Hills. I had all them going with him. I said, man, this young man making some sense.
No, man. Okay,
so win this time, he might win, but keep going with him, he can win.
Listen, now. No. Now, like I say to you, for me, I wanted him to maintain his independence as a thinker and a political advocate in the space, right? But not every thinker, and when I say political advocate, I mean advocate for policies, right? Not every thinker and political advocate needs to be at the front line. The strongest teams, their best, their most savvy strategists, and the back line, not the front line. That's why on May 13th, what is May 13th? The day after the election? On May 13th, a local entity called, Bahamas Herald? Released an article. Say Jerome Fitzgerald, the secret architect behind the Davis administration success, something like that. Did you know? Yeah, so sometimes your most savvy strategists remain the back line. And then some of them is forget that. Let's go to the text line. It says, good morning, Miss Greene. 2006 had a big yellow bus brake failed on the bridge. I got rear-ended and pushed under a dump truck. This is 20 years later. Nothing has changed. Well, it has changed. It's gotten worse. Good morning, blessings. And I'm so glad that you survived that accident and you are here to remind us, though. Yeah? So glad. Good morning, blessings. Our problem is we live in an unstructured society. Let's talk about it. We are at the opposite end of a communistic society. Stray dogs wreaking havoc, air and land, deathly crashes, paying for unreliable or non-existent services are the order of the day. This is like modern-day Rome burning while Nero fiddled. And ain't nobody collecting the steam to make electricity. I agree with you. So we saw last week the Bahamas Department of Corrections presented Sir Strawn, Duke Errol Strawn, with a puppy after an officer on a funeral procession shot a dog. While the dog was in its own yard, the yard was not fenced properly. and they presented the homeowner with a new puppy and a limited supply of puppy food. But have we seen any significant exercises or activities to curtail the stray dog crisis? Have we seen any uptick in activity from animal control or the relevant agencies? No, but what we do see is this unfortunate story: 5 dogs attack elderly man. A 70-year-old man says he was mauled by 5 dogs as he walked home on Friday night near Balls Alley. You know, the police patrol in that area is very good. Authorities have their eyes on that area. But ain't nobody see the stray dogs? Nobody see the wild dogs, the unkept dogs, the not properly kept dogs? Nobody saw that? Anyway, we're going to go to the break. When we get back from the break, text us. I haven't forgotten you. We can go through the text line and some more headlines as well. You're on the clock with Erin Greene, Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Do not turn that dial.
Tearing up the street, bring the music every year. Even when the sick, no other group out there can do it like we do. Stink with the fun.
Wait, you know what's going down tomorrow?
Nobody, what happening?
Joe bringing these knife to school. He could do Junior in.
For what?
But he fooled with Joe girl.
Mother sick. And you know Junior don't back down for nothing. So that means you got a big fight tomorrow.
So whose side you on?
Side? I trying to stay in school, not Simpson Pen. We gotta tell somebody about this fight.
Tell somebody. I ain't no snitch. I mean cool, you know.
Wait, if you so cool, then you need to stay in school and stay out of the fight.
Yeah, but if I don't hang on Joe's side, him and these boys coming for me next.
Alright, so we definitely gotta tell somebody. We gotta prevent the fight.
What I say, I don't want nobody call me snitch.
We could just call Crime Stoppers. You could report what you know, and nobody gotta know it's you.
So how did I boy?
All you gotta do is call them, or you text them through the Crack Crime Bahamas app, and nobody can know it's you.
Then the police come looking for me for more info, and when they finish with them, Joe them coming looking for me?
When you call Crime Stoppers, the call go directly to Miami, and they don't ask nothing about you. Then you can get the pen from them, and they can claim a reward later using that same pen.
Plus, everything's scrambled, so nobody can read what you're saying.
Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands.
Put more money back in your pocket with the Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan. Why pay more when you can pay less? Reduce your monthly debt payments down to one low, easy payment. Apply for a Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Hey kids, are you ready? It's back! The Jeff Rogers Summer Basketball Camp. July 27th to 31st at the Kendall Isaacs Gym, 2 to 5 p.m. daily, and August 3rd to 8th, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. for boys and girls from 5 to 18. Come enjoy the thrills of the big game alongside NBA legends and current superstars Michael Sweetbells Thompson, Michael Jr., Klay Thompson, Buddy Hield, Muggsy Bogues, and many others. Registration forms available now at the Seventh-day Adventist offices on Tony Williams Darling Highway. The Jeff Rogers Summer Basketball Camp.
Struggling to find your financial rhythm? Make that move to Fidelity and let us help you orchestrate your financial goals into perfect harmony with free financial coaching sessions. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
No budget for a vacation this summer? No worries. We got you. Guardian Radio 96.9 will fly you and a guest to South Florida for a vacation of a lifetime. Our sweet summer escape gets you round-trip tickets on Bahamas Air. $1,000 spending cash, thanks to Percy's Island Games. Brand new luggage from Brass and Leather. 4 days and 3 nights at the beautiful Holiday Inn Express Plantation. Free car rental from Hertz, too. All you need is your passport. We got you covered. Enter now for the Guardian Radio 96.9 Sweet Summer Escape. Fill out the form in today's Nassau Guardian and follow us on all social media platforms. Remember, you must be 18 or older to enter. Entry deadline August 12th, drawing August 14th. Taxes not included and certain restrictions apply.
At Cleveland Clinic, You set your course, not cancer. So when your journey takes an unexpected turn, you seek out the experts who've conquered it before, and you forge new paths to help fight cancers. For every route to a cure, for every care in the world. See how we're innovating cancer care at Cleveland Clinic today.
No budget for a vacation this summer? No worries. We got you. Guardian Radio 96.9 will fly you and a guest to South Florida for a vacation of a lifetime. Our sweet summer escape gets you round-trip tickets on Bahamas Air. $1,000 spending cash, thanks to Percy's Island Games. Brand new luggage from Brass and Leather. 4 days and 3 nights at the beautiful Holiday Inn Express Plantation. Free car rental from Hertz, too. All you need is your passport. We got you covered. Enter now for the Guardian Radio 96.9 Sweet Summer Escape. Fill out the form in today's Nassau Guardian and follow us on all social media platforms. Remember, you're older to enter. Entry deadline August 12th. Taxes not included and certain restrictions apply.
Hey, KB.
Yes, sir.
Boy, you know, when you love these women, it will really make you do some crazy things.
Boy, I agree with you, Ronnie.
Listen, you gotta check this out. This really happened to me.
What?
Yes.
Why you gotta hear this?
My gal asked me to lick ice cream off a she kitchen floor.
What?
To prove my love, I had to do it.
She's a freaky.
Or she won't check for me no more. In spite of all these
Good morning. Welcome back to On the Clock with Erin. I almost called Ronnie Butler and asked him what he was talking about just now. Ah, boy, the beauty of music and literacy. It can teach us so much. All right, let's go right to the text line. I hear you, texter. We can't read that one out loud. Let's go to the phone line. Switch up the energy a little bit. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Miss Greene.
Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right, Joe. I like this traffic section. Solutions Watch. The word of the day is celebritarianism. That's the new word. I don't know. I dubbed that myself. But I rode down Shirley Street last night, and my mind ran on the 5 children, right?
Yeah.
And so I looked at Shirley Street. You can imagine when it was a two-way, right?
Yeah.
The road is actually so uneven at high speeds. Once we hit a bump, the wheel I'll just left or right, right? So the propensity, the ability to lose control is high. But what I wanted to say is, when you talk about these traffic situations, I've seen people, they're using the westbound lane to turn east, and then I saw someone using the eastbound lane to go on below the road. So it's chaos out there. Also, a solution would be, I just, there's some roadblocks, right?
Yeah.
The police, I got to give them this idea because they see him. I don't know what's going on. One of the first steps, right? Not even standing and inspecting the vehicles properly, right? One of the first steps would be to get rid of some of this imbecility on the road. Is to just have like sporadic roadblocks, and then just have a loudspeaker and let drivers know as they pull up, just produce their driver's license. And if they don't, then you have your driver's license suspended, or you go and you pay your fine. They'll collect a lot of money because, given the fact that the guy was on the radio disclosing that we have adults now coming in to get driver's license, been driving for decades without driving license, wouldn't that be a great idea to really weed out some of this imbecility? And also, last night, Sunday, for the first time, I didn't see any cyclists on anywhere. Like, I don't know what's going on, but I don't know what's going on. And then the guys are riding the motorcycles without license and insurance and helmets and et cetera, et cetera. So, it's chaos. But for me, reducing the imbecility would be to ask everyone to produce their driver's license as they come along. I don't care how much impedes them. Have some kind of cooperation with the employers and so for the various people and let them know people. But you need to do that because a lot of people ride without a license. I see the cell phones, et cetera. The lady let me out, but she, with the cell phone in her hand, people riding 5 miles an hour. Nobody cares. Is that obstructing traffic? I'll have a good day, Ms. Greene.
Absolutely, it's obstructing traffic. That's one of the basic ones. Okay, so let's start here. What you're seeing on the road today, they're not road blocks because road blocks are unconstitutional. I think I was going to say illegal, right? But they're unconstitutional. What you're seeing are road checks, right? They are called road checks. And they're just checking to see if you have your license and insurance. And they're not even doing it rooted in the strategy that you're talking about. They're just collecting tax. for the Ministry of Transport. License and insurance. License and insurance. They just collecting tax. In fact, when the boy pulled me over, I don't think did he ask me for the title of the car? I don't think he even asked me for the title of the car. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is they're not doing roadblocks because that's illegal. They're doing road checks, right? And they ain't really checking for nothing. That's one strategy, but what we need is greater police presence on the road, paying attention to the road, as opposed to taking this time in the vehicle as a break with my windows up and my AC on, with my head in my phone, right? And the thing is, it doesn't have to be like economically prohibitive, right? Like if we had a proper computer system, remember when they told us that all the police cars had computers in them? Right? You have a tiered system. First stop is a warning. Second stop is a $30 fine. Third stop is a $300 fine. Fourth stop, your license will be revoked temporarily or indefinitely, right? But you need a computerized system. So when an officer stops someone, they could check the system to see if you're a tiered system. Yeah? The police vehicle's supposed to have a speaker in them, right? So as the police are driving and they observe an infraction, but they may not have the time to stop and deal with it, they could use the speaker to identify the driver. You in the brown rental with these plates and the child in the back, make them sit down. This is your first warning, right? Like, you do that to deter the behavior. It's a joke. And I know that especially the young officers, they don't understand why they're not getting any respect from the public. Because you're not acting like an officer. You acting like it's your chance to lock up niggas on the plantation. That's literally how y'all treating people. And sometimes it's the people who trying to point out infractions to you. Yeah? Like a plantation. Somebody tried to tell me that, you keep using plantation as it's a pejorative, that means like a negative. Is there any positive use of the word plantation? Give me one. I'll take it. Let's go to the phone line. Good morning, caller.
Hey, Erin, how you doing? This is North Carolina here.
Good morning, how you do?
I'm good. I know you're talking about traffic and all of that. I just want to give a little insight. And I know this is the United States, but not licensed. Yeah, not licensed. What you do with the inspection for the car?
Yeah, like you did.
I just did that totally. Yeah, I just totally did that online on Friday.
Okay.
When I went in and tried, do it online, they said I had a ticket.
Okay.
I think it's not a ticket. It was a toll. I normally go across this toll.
Right, you have a toll fee, yeah.
10 cents, yeah. And so went ahead. They said I had this amount. I found the paper, paid it, went back in for 10 minutes. It was cleared. Oh, you can go ahead and pay now. And I was able to pay all of that.
Yeah.
Right? Another thing that I have here, the first time getting any ticket in the Bahamas or even in the United States, I had a speeding ticket about 3 or 4 years ago.
Yes, ma'am.
I got 1 point placed on my license. If you get up to 7 points, you totally close your point. I think DUI is like 4 points. So they have a point system. And I think we can even look at that. But I think the technology has to come into play.
Yeah.
I even did the inspection at my Michael Jordan Nissan. They send the inspection directly to road traffic or whatever they call it here.
Yeah.
And, all of that went through the system. So I didn't have to go on no line. I didn't have to do none of that. Just go in, pay it online, and that sort of thing. So I know we could get some parts of it, but, I know it's not going to be total. But I just wanted to call in because I heard you. I don't normally call into your show because I'm normally to work, but I just have a few minutes, so I wanted to call in.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And see,
how you do? Okay, thanks.
And the lady, she wasn't dying. It was so easy, right? It was just it was so easy that she was able to fulfill her obligation. You know how many people go to pay a fine or a fee or something and then can't do it? Or they go to pay a bill and they're unable to do it because some system at the place where they're going isn't working properly? You know how much time people lose just trying to do the right thing? All right, here we go. Thank you so much for calling North Carolina. I thought you was calling to say Sawyer Boy been up there and he didn't bring no Gannett with him. I know Sawyer Boy was in Miramar at, there was some Bahamian festivities going on there. Here's a text. I stopped to let a driver turn off Prince Charles on Saturday. I sucked my teeth as the driver crawled through the turn. As their open window crossed my line of vision, I watched the young man in the black Japanese car with the cell phone in his hand, looking at the phone as he made the turn. Hence, the snail speed. Who are these aliens? Because they're overtaking us and appear to have risen to the level of the HOA with their nonsense. These are Bahamian aliens. All weekend, in their phone, with the great... Beatrice Avenue, that's the entrance to Seabreeze, and Prince Charles, the police could collect thousands of dollars there every day in fines if only they cared and weren't doing the same thing themselves. Another text said, the road safety initiative, you didn't hear them say they're gonna get the school kids to make jingles, they're gonna put up billboards, there's a PSA, there's no actual enforcement of traffic controls though. Good morning. You remember when the government implemented the seatbelt law? There was steep fines and strong enforcement. No bunch of talks will work to change this reckless driving culture. There must be enforcement. The COP just seemed lazy to me. If we could see her, that would be great. Nah, they don't check for insurance or titles, just the dashboard. Sigh. 52. They should have 52 reasons why Erin Greene should be the traffic czar. I can't go through all of them here. Plus, some of them are not for radio. They're just for me. Okay, they should have a synchronized system with the insurance companies using computers to prove insurance or driver's licenses instead of wasting people's time. See, remember the picture with the prime minister in the car with the computer? And then I asked you all if every car has a computer or just the car that the prime minister was in had a computer. And people say I was being disgusting. This weekend, a 15-year-old reported the two men attempted to force her into their cars. They beat her up while doing so. She was able to escape. That's what I mean, Bahamian aliens. Yes, she was able to escape. I'm hoping that CCTV footage, right, from private businesses and state infrastructure are accessible or have captured information that could be used to capture these two men who did this. Texas says, that's what I mean, Bahamian aliens, they have to been beamed here from outer space because I don't recognize them. Their behavior is alien. Remember when KB say he went to the moon and there was clothesline and Little Roach on the moon too? That's the set from Mars. From a long time. As a text, it's not wise to keep your vehicle title in the car. If an idiot steals your car and gets their hands on anything with your signature on it, they can forge your signature on the title and sell the vehicle. That's a vibe, right? That's a vibe. But I know people with the Hondas keep their title on them. However, technology, if you keep a picture of your title in your phone, it will be available to show to officers when driving. I was not aware, Texter. I will let the technical team at the station know right away. As you can tell, we're at the end of the show. I'm going to let my producer right now. Listen, if you are having an issue connecting to Guardian Radio 96.9 FM over the radio, call the station. Call and let us know. Send an email. Message us somehow. Because we miss you. Especially if you're missing us. We miss you. If you're ever experiencing any technical issues with accessing the station, let us know at the Guardian building and we will ensure that the relevant staff are made aware. I don't want you to miss this show. I don't ever miss it. You don't miss it neither. That's the thing, eh? Tomorrow, we're going to delve into this AG Defense Witness Protection Program. That's a Tribune headline. Guardian headline, AG says witnesses can request protection. We're going to talk about that tomorrow because I'm not sure if that's the type of defense that the witness protection needs. You know? We're going to talk tomorrow, guys. Have a great day. Stay tuned. Guardian Radio AM with C.A. Newry is up next.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com.